Good morning, dear students, Prep 3. Today we have Unit 16, Animal Stories. Lesson 1. Do you know what's the meaning of the word moral? Moral is a message that gives you advice. So you can get morals or messages out of any story. So let's read together this story by the ancient Greek writer Aesop. It's the ant and the grasshopper, and another one, the goose and the golden eggs. Story number 1, the ant and the grasshopper. It was summer, and ant was collecting food for the winter. And the grasshopper looked very content as he sat in the sun. Grasshopper hadn't done any work all week. Don't be foolish. You know that it's hard to find food in winter, said ant. What could you do if you didn't have any food? It's still summer, said grasshopper. I refuse to think about winter yet. When the winter came, ant had found enough food to eat until spring. And the grasshopper remembered ant's wise words, but he was very hungry. This the story number 1. And we have story number 2, the goose and the golden eggs. One day, a farmer found that his goose had laid a yellow egg. When he picked it up, it was as heavy as metal, and he thought it was bad. He decided to take it home, and he soon found out that the egg was made of gold. Every morning, the same thing happened. The farmer soon became very rich. He sold all the golden eggs at the market. However, the farmer soon became greedy. He thought that there must be a lot of golden eggs inside the goose, so he killed it. When he had killed the goose, he found that there were no eggs inside it. So let's see together. What is the moral out of story number 1, the ant and the grasshopper? Is it always prepare for the future, or you must never relax? Excellent. Number A, the moral is that you should always prepare for the future. And then story number 2, what is the moral? Don't kill animals, or don't want more than you need. Excellent. You don't need more than you need. So which of these words in red mean the following? Number 1, as much as is necessary. This means the word enough. Able to give good advice, wise. Happy, content. Made of gold, golden. Wanting more money, food, than you need, greedy. A common white water bird, goose. So here we can choose the correct answer, or the correct word. Ant knew it was hard to find food in the winter. The farmer wasn't sure if he should pick up the egg. The farmer soon became very greedy. He killed the goose to get more eggs. In this lesson, we have the past perfect tense. So in English, we use the past perfect tense to talk about 2 events in the past. But one happened earlier than the other. So the first action that happened, the first action should be in the past perfect. And then the second one should be in the past simple. So here is the first action, and here is the second action in the past simple. So the one happened earlier is in the past simple. And the second one is in the, of course, the first action is in the past perfect, and the second one would be in the past simple. So what about the time expressions that express the past perfect? We are going to put them in parts together. So we have in number 1, after, as soon as, and when. And after, as soon as, takes the first action, which is in the past perfect. And then on the other side, we are going to use the past simple or the second verb. So we are going to find that when would be common between both of them. So for example, as soon as I had finished my work, I went to the club. So what happened first? Excellent. Had finished. And then number 2, when. How could you know from the tenses? The first action should be in the past perfect and the second one should be in the past simple. And here we have another example with after finishing. So after finish, you can use the verb ing or the noun. After finishing my work, I went to the club. And when you use the gerund or the verb ing, you still using it at the first action because the second one would be in the past simple. And we have the second part, before and by the time and when. And here we have when again. So when could be common or could have after it either the past simple or the past perfect and then the other verb on the other side. So we can say when I had finished my work, I went to the club. Or I can say when I went to the club, I had finished my work. So it can be before both of them. But this part, before and by the time and when, we have the past simple, we have the second action, and then on the other side, the first action. So we have, she had prepared dinner by the time she arrived home. So number 1, she had prepared dinner. And then after by the time, we use the past simple. And again, before could be like after. Before going out, she had prepared dinner. So after before, we can put the verb ing or the noun. And we have other two time expressions. We have because comes in the middle. Before because, we have the past simple, and after is the past perfect. And we have till and until, and both should be in the middle. Before till and until, the negative of the past simple, and then after is the past perfect. That means I didn't go to the club until I had finished my work. I went to the club because I had finished my work. So let's see here the part. We are going to underline the verbs in these sentences. We have when the winter came, and we have when, and had found. A farmer found that his goose had laid. When he had killed, he found that. Here we can correct the verb. Reem was upset because her friend hadn't phoned her. Nobody knew about the site because everyone had forgotten about it. After we had visited, we decided to have lunch. Farida enjoyed visiting Suhag because she had never been there before. Let's see lesson number 3. In lesson number 3, we have here, what would we say in the following situation, or what would we say when we are responding to news? We can say, how wonderful, really, I can't believe it, oh dear, oh no, and how terrible if it's bad. So let's go to the part at the beginning of page 38. We have, she is happy for her friend. Oh no, how terrible. So they are sad. Really, I can't believe it. She's very surprised by the information. Oh dear, perhaps you should see the doctor. She's worried. So from responding to the news, you can guess what kind of news you have. For example, when we are listening or we are going to listen to Amir with another boy about a visit to zoo, we can guess how did he respond to the news. Hello, Amir. I haven't seen you for a long time. No, I have been away on holiday. I have only just come back. How was the trip? It was great, but it didn't start very well. Why? What happened? Well, on our first day, we decided to go to the zoo, but we found out that it had closed an hour before we got there. Oh, no. Yes, a snake had escaped and nobody knew where it was. How terrible. Then, when we were leaving the zoo car park, we saw the snake. Really, I can believe it. It looked at us and moved very slowly past our car. I had never seen a snake so close before. How wonderful. But then a lot of men from the zoo arrived with the sticks. Oh dear. They didn't hurt the snake, and soon they took it back inside the zoo. I'm very happy to hear that. So let's see here, after listening to Amir talking about a visit to the zoo. He used, oh no, we can say after that he used how terrible, and then really, I can believe it. No, not this one. And then we have how wonderful. And then, oh dear. So this is the way you can respond to news, in that way. When you say how wonderful, so it's good news. Really, I can believe it. It means that, or oh dear, that means they are news that you can believe or you are surprised. Oh no, or how terrible, it means that it's bad news. So here we can, in lesson 4, we can look at these people in the pictures doing and decide if they are doing the right or the wrong things. For example, I will say it wasn't me. So this is completely wrong if you do that. Picture number B, excuse me, this is your money. So this girl wants to give the woman the money she lost. So this is completely right. And then picture number C, we have, I don't know the answers, I will copy Amal's work. So this is wrong, she's cheating. But it would be much better for her to study, to try to get the answers, or to study a lot more before next exam. Number D, Nasser is not here, so I will go for a ride on his bike. That's completely wrong, because you couldn't borrow, or you wouldn't borrow something that belonged to another person without taking permission, without asking for permission. So let's do the quiz here together. So if our answers are going to be A, so this means that we should think more carefully about what we do. Or sometimes we do foolish things. But if we mostly use B, this means that well done, and we always try to do the right things. So here, all my answers are B. Let's read them. What would you do if you found a bag that someone had left in the street? Of course, I'd never take the contents of anyone's bags. I'd look for the owner or give it to the police, as girl in number B did, exactly. So number 2, what would you do if you didn't know the answer in an exam? I never do like the girl in number C, but I'd guess and study a lot more before the next exam. Number 3, would you borrow something that belonged to another person without asking them? Of course, I never do, as the boy in picture number D, but no, the answer, or my answer would be no, I wouldn't. If you broke a window during a game, what would you say? I'm sorry, here is some money to repair it, and I will never do like the boy in number A. So here, the last part, We can talk about morals here. Number one is done. Small children are sometimes greedy and want some more sweets than they eat. Number two, if you want to borrow your friend's laptop, you should ask first. My grandmother is very wise. She knows how to help most people who have a problem. And we can choose here the right answer about the past perfect. When Walid arrived at the airport, the plane had already taken. Okay, so we are going, taken off. So we are going to choose number two. Number two, before Olivia visited Egypt, she had never heard Arabic before. My mother hadn't studied English before she started her job at the bank. We didn't eat in the restaurant because we had eaten already. And here is the dialogue to show how can we respond to news. And here is the dialogue between Ahmed and Midhat. Ahmed, my uncle gave me a new watch for my birthday. How wonderful. Yes, but I was foolish. I broke it while I was playing football. Really? How terrible. What did your uncle say? He was very kind. He repaired it for me, but now it is a bit slow. Oh dear, it's a beautiful watch. I wish you all the best of luck, my dear students. Thank you so much.